Joining us this evening to talk about some of these stories are our guests Thomas Farines from Football Beyond Borders and sports commentator Manuel Veth. Thank you very much for joining us, gentlemen. I think we should start with the Premier League fixtures because these are always so mouth-watering when they come out. Even though we're weeks away from the start of the season, this is when it gets real, isn't it?
Well, Manuel, if you want to start.
Sure. I mean, some of the fixtures are really interesting. I've seen Liverpool's fixture list, especially has been commented on quite a lot, with Brendan Rodgers being already under pressure, and the first 7 games look particularly tough. So that could be maybe Rodgers' last 7 games at Liverpool if everything goes like it should be for him.
Do you think it's the situation that certainly some Liverpool fans that are anti-Rodgers have kind of circled those opening fixtures and are almost hoping that maybe he doesn't get out of the starting blocks?
Oh, I've heard the comment today, and I thought it was really funny. It's like 7 games till Jurgen Klopp. Yeah, I mean, there is that kind of atmosphere around that. So maybe, yeah.
It must be difficult being him at the moment. Of course, the other thing we look at is not just the very opening fixtures for the big guns, but it's those teams in amongst the middle of the table that have maybe got a big 2 or 3 big teams in the first 3 or 4 fixtures, because sometimes you think to yourself, actually they've got a bit of time to do their transfer business, but if you're facing Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, City in the first few games, you want your transfer business done now, don't you?
Yeah, well, to be honest, it's not only the transfers, it's also the way that you start the season. If you start the season against as a smaller team, if you start the season against another contender against for the relegation spots, yes, you can even start better. You've seen leagues, especially here as well, you have teams that have long runs in the first semester, and then at the end of the season they struggle a little bit, and some games that they won in the beginning save them. And that's what I think some clubs will be hoping for.
Love that you called it semester as well. Just wonderful. Let's talk about some of these transfer rumours, because, of course, there are 3 big ones today kicking around. The situation with Raheem Sterling. We believe that Manchester City have come back with 35 million plus 5 million. Liverpool, we believe, are going to say no to that. But City are dogged now. They want their man. Do you think they'll get him?
I don't think so. I think Liverpool has the financial power to make him stay. And I don't think if he leaves, he's going to leave for a club in Manchester. He wants to go back to London. So if he leaves, he's going to go Chelsea, Arsenal. That's my opinion. It's
a very good point about location, but I would say financially, Liverpool basically are looking to cash in, aren't they? Because they've got a player that doesn't want to be there, won't sign a £600,000 a week deal, according to his agent. So surely they want to just make as much money as they can.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's basically just about, because they know that Man City will come back with a better deal. And then if they say no to that, they will come back with another better deal, and another one, and another one. And eventually they will cash in. I have absolutely no doubt about that Sterling is leaving Liverpool this transfer window. And if he's not going to Manchester City, he will go somewhere else. You mentioned obviously the London clubs, but then there's also the rumor floating around with Bayern Munich.
Right.
So I think he's going to be gone, and I think that Liverpool will get a really good business out of this.
I think it's staggering. Yeah. I don't think he's a player that's that great to be commanding such a fee. But
he's not worth that kind of money, absolutely not. But the thing is, with the new TV deal being in, and with Manchester City now not longer having the squeeze from FFP, that means they can afford to pay this kind of money no matter what. Yeah. So it's almost like a prestige project for them, isn't it? So they will just go for it no matter what.
Absolutely right. I want to quickly touch on the Ramos story, the power of sport to heal, because it really is a special moment, isn't it, when you see superstars giving up their time, giving up their holiday to go out there and meet youngsters from other countries and just help, support, be a member of that community, highlight certain issues around the globe. It's good, isn't it?
Well, it's good, and you have to think that, yes, now Cuba is the one that everybody goes. Dikembe Mutombo went there in April, you had New York Cosmos as well, then went there last month, and now Ramos.
Of course, previously we've had the likes of Craig Bellamy, who's funded schools and hospital wings in different countries.
Sierra Leone, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot of projects, interesting projects like that. And it's good to see that sport as well, at the same time that we're discussing humongous transfer fees. We're discussing as well the fact that someone, well, an organization like the UN is trying to do some good in other countries.
Absolutely. No, I'm all for it, and it's terrific that football that's currently under the kibosh at the highest level actually still does an awful lot of good on a different level as well. Guys, I do thank you for your time. I'll be back in the second semester of this. You see what I did there? Brilliant. Well, joining me again in the studio tonight, Thomas Farines from Football Beyond Borders and sports commentator Manuel Veth. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the second semester. Excited to have you again. Let's talk about that Ferrari moment from Arturo Vidal. This is awkward to say this. It's a brand new car. He's gone and crashed it, and they found out that he'd been drinking. It's not a good news for him.
Yeah, I mean, that's an understatement. It's supposed to be really bad news for him. I think if you would do something like that in Great Britain, you would probably walk away with a prison sentence even. But it looks like he's might get off of nothing, although he's meeting the judge later this week, so we can't really say how bad this is going to be. But even worse, this is in the middle of the Copa America tournament in his home country. He's playing for a team that is considered one of the favorites to win the title, and he is the leader of the team, and instead of preparing himself for a match, he goes off drinking and crashes his brand new Ferrari. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not good news, is it, Thomas? I think we have to move on very quickly because we've so little time, but you've just seen from that Speedway story, you know, even the coolest of heads and the nicest of men can sometimes just see red, can't they?
Well, yes, and you have a lot of events where that happens. I like the fact that some sports, especially hockey, where you can actually, the referee decides to cool off everyone. He decides to make them, yeah, just have your little fight for 5 minutes. Then we'll put you in the bench for 5 more minutes, and then we'll start the game again. And everybody, as Manuel said, is best friends again. I think that he just went on that rage because he felt that the other one was very dangerous.
He saw red, absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for your time tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. That's it from this edition of the Global Sports Report.